Floyd Mayweather found the new Gervonta Davis. Meet Curmel Moton, the impeccable 18-year-old boxer who terrifies boxers with years of experience. This young boxer was for many years the best amateur boxer in the United States. Many people knew him as Tank Davis 2.0, but now they'll know him as boxing's next big superstar. Join me to learn about the young man who will keep boxing alive when the superstars of our generation hang up their gloves.
He's only 17 years old, so about time he's 18, he should be a millionaire.
Wow, hey, 18-year-old millionaire, hey, that's huge.
Born in Salt Lake City, Utah, USA, Curmel Moton took his first steps in professional boxing when he was just 6 years old, when his father decided that they had to move to Las Vegas because he dreamed of his son becoming a professional boxer. And in Utah, there was not a great boxing culture to make that wish come true. His father always knew that Curmel Moton was a boxing prodigy and one of those phenomenons that are born once every 10 years. In a very short time, with the backing and sponsorship of Floyd Mayweather and his father, Curmel Moton managed to become a sensation throughout amateur boxing in the United States, to the point of being considered the best prospect in the country. At just 16 years old, Curmel Moton had already won 18 national championships and had a scandalous record of 156 wins and only 7 losses. Curmel Moton was indestructible in amateur boxing. He ran over all his opponents without too much difficulty, and that led him to become a true phenomenon on social networks without even having had one professional fight. If you search on the internet, you can easily find hundreds and hundreds of Curmel Moton videos with millions and millions of views. Curmel Moton became an American boxing rock star as an amateur boxer, and that's incredible. The hype surrounding Curmel Moton was so gigantic that it made Curmel Moton's professional debut perhaps the most anticipated professional debut of the last 20 years, and perhaps even in the history of boxing. As of today, Curmel Moton is undefeated, with a professional record of 5 wins and 0 losses. 4 of those 5 fights were won by knockout, and the most impressive thing is that his 3rd professional fight was published in full on the Premier Boxing Champions YouTube channel, and that fight has 2.3 million views. Something completely inexplicable if we consider that Curmel Moton is barely 18 years old. And that was only the 3rd fight of his career. Achieving that is literally impossible for any boxer his age, and also for most professional boxers today. Curmel Moton is an extremely skilled boxer, but he stands out mainly for his power and speed. We haven't seen much of Moton on the professional boxing scene yet, but what people who have trained with him for years say is that Curmel hits like a truck and also has a very high fighting IQ. Curmel Moton knows how to perfectly decipher the deficiencies of his opponents and knows how to exploit those deficiencies to the maximum, and that is normal because he has spent almost his entire life training with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the most intelligent boxers in history. There's even a video where you can see Floyd giving instructions to Curmel in the middle of a sparring session, and Moton really follows the instructions perfectly and capitalizes on what Floyd tells him in a matter of seconds. What we have seen from Curmel Moton in professional boxing is that he's a very aggressive boxer who constantly pressures his opponents to knock them out without worrying too much about his defense. But do not let that confuse you. Curmel Moton is a lethal counterpuncher. Believe me when I tell you that Curmel is a very complete boxer, and all his skills are highly qualified. I've been watching Curmel Moton fight for years. I've been watching his fight since he was an amateur, and I can corroborate that he's a prodigy, and boxing-wise, he is far superior to an average boxer. I would even take the liberty of saying that Curmel Moton currently, without even having a long professional experience, is a Class A boxer and can defeat several of the reigning world champions in his weight division. As I said before, Curmel Moton is well known by many people as Gervonta Davis 2.0, And that's because Moton was mentored since he was just a child by Floyd Mayweather, exactly the same as Floyd mentored Gervonta Davis when he was very young. Although when Floyd met Gervonta, he was already 20 years old and had 11 professional fights under his belt. But he was a long way from becoming what Gervonta Davis is today. Floyd has known Curmel Moton since he was 7 or 8 years old, and from that young age, Mayweather saw something special in him. So although Curmel Moton and Gervonta Davis have a somewhat similar fighting style and are or were protégés of Floyd Mayweather, their stories are completely different, and they actually have nothing to do with each other. Curmel Moton is a boxer developed entirely by the TMT gym, the opposite of Tank Davis, who when he came into contact with Floyd Mayweather was already a professional boxer who was clearly built by Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford. Floyd Mayweather currently does not have a good relationship with Gervonta Davis, and evidently that also fractured Tank's relationship with Curmel Moton. Gervonta also knows Curmel since he was a child, and they were even sparring partners. The problems between Tank and Moton arose on social media when Gervonta and Floyd began to insult and hate each other, and therefore Tank wants to know absolutely nothing about anything that involves Mayweather. So that led Gervonta to expel Curmel Moton from the undercard of the fight against Frank Martin on June 15th. Moton was scheduled to fight at that event, but Tank simply decided that was not going to happen, and then insulted Curmel on Twitter. But in reality, this beef is only on the part of Gervonta against Moton, because Curmel has always been very respectful with Tank and has shown admiration towards him. Moton simply paid for the broken beaches of the problems between Tank and Floyd.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a beef. I guess I know it's because him and Floyd has a beef going on, and I had posted a tweet of me and Floyd. I guess it was a bad time to post it, and Tank felt it was directed towards him, so he took it the way he took it. And
Boxing today is lacking superstars. Some people even think that boxing will die when guys like Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford retire.
Canelo's gone. Once Crawford decides to hang him up, once Inoue decides to hang him up, I mean, who do we have to hold on to, guys? Like, who's that next coming? Who's going to be the next Canelo? Like, we're missing that, man. So, like, while Crawford is here, let's continue to give him his flowers. While Canelo is here, let's continue to give him his flowers, because once they're gone, man, boxing's going to be kind of dead. I'm not going to lie.
No other boxer at his age is as popular as he is, and even though Mayweather Promotions is handling Moton's career at a slow burn, this young man could easily be heading and filling arenas already, and he's ready to do just that.